Hey everyone, Mika here again with another video in Fusion, working on our concept cars. In this video, we'll be doing something a bit different to the rest of the videos. I say it in all the videos, but in this one especially. Up until now, we've been working on modelling in general as a blanket term. In this video, it's a bit of a sidestep from that theme, working on joints, and it's not the most important part of our project in terms of our concept cars. It's more a bonus, and it's a chance to actually look at something you wouldn't look at in this project otherwise. So it's a good opportunity to look at it and get an insight into it, and hopefully if you're more creative and more inclined to explore in Fusion, it'll give you an opportunity to work on that as well. So what we're doing, I've just developed a kind of very simple, extremely simple system here, so we can rotate our wheel around a rod, and that rod could be going through the bottom of your car on the front and back axis. You can attach both of your wheels onto that rod and then rotate it around using a joint. And what I won't go into is how you'd join it in a way where you can rotate your wheel like this and also like this. That would require a bit more of an in-depth tutorial. I might consider doing that because it's quite a cool thing to do, but what you would have to do is make a joint assembly, and it's one of those things I'd rather go into it in a full video and actually attach it to an actual handle, like a steering wheel of some sort. So maybe in the future, but for now let's just do the basics. So what is a joint in Fusion? A joint in Fusion allows you to attach two or more components together and define the relationship between each other. They are either not moving or they're moving. A rigid joint is one that doesn't allow components to move, and there are quite a few options for moving joints, whether they have an axis of rotation and linear movement, or they have two axes of rotation, or they are a ball joint where they can kind of move in any spherical axis of freedom. So joints, another thing about joints is they can only be done on components, not on bodies. So our first stage is to turn all of our bodies into components. Before I do that though, I want to just connect this to the rim. So what I'll do is press on the combine tool, press on the rim as my target body and this as my tool body, and connect them together, and that should be it. So now let's turn all of these into components. You can see I've already made a fixed wall here, and the reason why I'm doing that is because if I didn't have that there, I would make the revolve joint and it would actually turn the rod rather than the wheel. So this is like a simulation of what the other tire would be doing to the rod. So there's two tires in there and they were both rotating, then that would solve our issue already. So the first thing I have to do is join this block, this fixed surface, to our rod, so that this rod doesn't turn and that the wheel turns instead. So let's press on the join tool, click, so hover over this surface here, and what we'll do is hold down Control, and with this Control tool it will snap to any available joint positions. So let's click on the middle, and then we've got that joint there. Now let's go around to the other side and again hold Control and click on here. Now they're both connected, and we'll go into the motion tab and make sure it's on rigid. If you really want to, you can preview this and it will really help you. So let's press OK, and that's done. Now we want to connect our wheel to the rod, so let's do that again. Let's press on the joint tool once more, click, hover over the surface, find the point you want. Now at this stage, for this example, we got a slightly deceiving one here, so we're going to hold Control and go to the square one. That indicates the center, and then click on the end of the rod. There. As you can see, it's flipped it around, which is not handy. The reason why that happened was because I clicked on the front surface and the front surface, so it went. So in this case, we'll click on the flip tool and it will flip it. Great. Now we want to change the motion, because we don't want it to be rigid, we want it to turn. So here, let's go to revolve. But first I'll just go over the other ones. We've got slider here, as I mentioned before. That's only going to be moving on axis, so if I press that one, it'd be moving up and down. got the cylindrical, so it'll turn and move in a direction. Pin slot, again another one. Planer, so it's moving on a plane. And then the ball, which is the most crazy one, and I've not even used that in any circumstance yet, but I do want to at some point. So revolve, no limits, and press OK. Now you can see that the tyre has obviously not moved, because that's a separate component. So what we'll do is connect that rigidly to our rim, press on joint, and click on the edge that they meet at, so let's say this edge here, and then select this edge here. Boom, now it's moved, and now stupidly it's on revolve, so I'll change it to rigid, and there we go. Hopefully at this point you should be able to just turn your wheel and it should do that pretty well. Awesome. Now that done, I want to show in context how that will work in terms of your car. My car has this exact same thing, so when you turn it, the entire wheel spins, and on this other side too, and at the back as well. And what I've done is pretty much the same thing that I've done here. I've put a rod through the car, cut through it, and attached both sides of my wheel, and apart from the disc brake, and applied that same revolve action. So that's pretty cool. If you want to do that, enjoy doing it. Hopefully what I've taught you will be enough in order to do that. If you want to explore, as I said at the start of the video, please do. Joints are really cool, and you can do all sorts of things with them. You can do studies, and you can go into a lot of detail into relationships between contacts, and making sure that if you were to turn your wheel right and left, that it doesn't actually hit the car. That's another thing you want to maybe look at. So have fun with it, but also make sure that it's working properly. So hopefully that was useful, and see you in the next video.